Welcome back to my channel. My name is Deborah Smith. I am the owner of ED Logistics, a women-owned small business, government contracting business. Today we have a special guest by the name of Hugh Mom. He is the co-founder of a new tool by the name of samsearch.com. He has figured out a way to integrate AI and sam.gov in one. So we're super excited to have him on the channel. He's going to educate us on what samsearch.com can do for your government contracting business. So we would like to welcome him to the channel. How are you?
I appreciate that. Very nice introduction, Deborah. Thank you very much. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Super excited about the platform that you put together for government contracting bidders because there is just so much confusion when it comes time to find a contract, right? Before we get into the software, can you share what inspired you to create samsearch.com and what problem you are trying to solve for government contractors?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I really love this question because we started as the team of SamSearch started as uh, three guys that wanted to work with the government and bid as something to do on the side as well as their full-time jobs because we were just looking for something else to do, and we were all in tech software positions, and we found it really hard to work with sam.gov, and we were watching a YouTube tutorial on how to use sam.gov, and in the middle of the tutorial we clicked and looked at each other. We're like, if we are watching a tutorial on how to use sam.gov and we all work in tech, imagine just someone who is trying to run their business, whether it's a service, a product business, whatever, and they have to do all of this on the side. There has to be like another tool. And the other tools that exist, also very old legacy tools that don't really understand what you're trying to search for, and they don't solve the problem, or they target really big enterprise companies. So we wanted to have a tool that any business can use as their right hand to work with the government.
Okay, that's a great answer. Great answer. So, for someone brand new to government contracting, how does samsearch.com just simplify the process of finding the right bids compared to just going on sam.gov or other portals?
Yeah, for sure. I'll share my screen and walk you through the answer.
Yes.
So this is the before we get into the platform itself, the inspiration behind SamSearch again is that this is the team, and the vision is that we wanted to be doing all the heavy lifting and have you save all the time. If you go on a platform that you think is clunky, you are probably not the issue, it's the website's issue. And that's why we created SamSearch. We want to gather all 5,000 sources in one place. So whether it's the federal, which is the sam.gov, whether it's state, local, and education, and that's where we have the over 5,000 websites across the states, whether it's state, local, county, etc., etc. The DIPS as well, which is the DLA website, the forecast, and you are in a way you can see the future procurements, what's going to be published, subcontracts, grants, and SBIR. So the first part of it is just having all the resources in one place. The second part, as probably everyone is aware of, sam.gov tries to match your search with the title of the contract. That's how you get the results. A lot of times, for example, a cybersecurity company could be looking for cybersecurity contracts. So they go on sam.gov, look up cybersecurity, and they don't get all the results because a lot of times the titles don't include cybersecurity, but it's somewhere in the attachments, somewhere in the contract, it is a cybersecurity contract. And then that way you have to do your search in a specific way and make sure the NAICS codes are correct, the terms are correct, etc., etc. On the other hand, what we wanted to do with SamSearch is basically search in English, search in a way that you just want to talk about your business, and SamSearch will find you the contract. Like for example, if you want to do cybersecurity with with the Department of Defense, you can just look up cybersecurity with the DoD, and it'll understand that you're looking for solutions. This is a great example, actually, protecting army modernization and supply chains, etc., with the Department of Defense. But we see the first line from the AI summary that it's a cybersecurity contract. So it understands what you're trying to look for, and it gives you smart summaries that are generated by AI about what this contract is. So you save time in filtering through results and getting results that you actually want to find. So other than the smart search and the summaries, you also have the interface, which is a lot easier to use with and work with as a business. But also another very good thing that you can save time on is by saving these searches and creating alerts. So you click on Save Search and you head up this box, alerts. Whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, you do the weekly, just for the sake of the example, and then you go to Saved in History. And now every week you will be getting alerts for the cybersecurity with the DoD opportunities straight to your email. You want to make sure when you're starting, you have your eyes on the majority of the contracts you want to bid for. It's the experience what gets you the knowledge, and the more you do it, the more you will be more familiar with the terms, with the regulations, with the compliance, with the FAR regulations, etc., etc. And you want to make sure you're understanding everything. Let's say you're in the landscaping industry. You always want to be aware of what the landscaping contracts are being published, what are they, by which department, which agency, etc., etc. So having those alerts is extremely important. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just try to make it as simple as possible, and I like to say just search with plain English, and it'll understand what you're trying to look for.
I mean, the word simplify is the only thing that comes to mind because government contracting can be very confusing for multiple, no matter what angle you are at. But simplifying the process by using plain terms is so much more helpful and powerful to find a contract that you are capable of winning, right? So samsearch.com is just something that you really put together that simplifies this for the normal human, right? You don't want to overcomplicate the process any more than sam.gov has already done for us. So that was a great answer, and thank you for
Exactly.
sharing.
Of course, one thing I like to talk about with people that are coming into government contracting, and they think it's normal to watch tutorials on how to use sam.gov, and I'm like, when was the last time you watched a tutorial on how to use Google? Like, probably never. You don't. It's easy. You go on Google, not having to stress about what you're trying to look for, and if you're trying to look for something, you're not scared of missing on other results because it's not understanding what you're trying to look for. Same goes with ChatGPT. It's just a chat bar that you can just talk to it. On the other hand, the government is not putting in those technologies into their websites and platforms. That makes it a lot harder for smaller businesses to capture these contracts.
Right.
Whereas it's an advantage that it's not simple to the bigger companies because they can afford to hire a capture team of 20 people and then a proposal team of another 20. Whereas for smaller businesses or services, if someone just has like an HVAC service and somewhere in Arizona and they have a team of 10 and the owner themselves have to go at night and look for these contracts and spend hours, that is not fair. That is just missing opportunities every single day because they're not going to have the time to run their business and to find RFPs.
Yes, absolutely correct. That's a great breakdown. Thank you. So can you walk us through the main features that make SamSearch stand out, especially the ones that save contractors the most time?
Yeah, for sure. So we saw how the search is easy. Now we found the contracts. But the bottleneck of government contracting is not just finding the contracts, it's also understanding these contracts. And that's where we spend the majority of our times. And nothing more depressing than going on a contract that you think fits your business 10 pages through the first attachment, then you realize it's not a good fit because there's a certification that is required or something like this. That time all went to waste. In that time, you could have been searching for other contracts or maybe writing a proposal for contracts you are a good fit for. I'll give an example of waste management. Let's look for this solicitation, for example. We see here that we have couple attachments that are probably long and we don't know what they are, and a lot of times the naming conventions of the attachments themselves is very complex and unknown. We can view any of these attachments right here in the app right away without having to download them and have hundreds of documents on our desktop before we even know what this contract is. We can summarize any of these attachments and get a quick summary. But essentially, you want to save your time by understanding these contracts and make a bid, no bid decision on them as fast as possible. So you read the AI Smart Summary, you go through the attachments, you summarize them. But what I'm very stoked about is the chat feature on the side. So imagine you have an employee, a full-time employee, that you give them a bunch of documents and you just ask them questions right away. So let's say we're just gonna ask it to give me all the key dates in a table. We just want to make sure we understand the timeline of this contract first of all. And it's gonna go on and give us the answer of all the key dates of this opportunity right away. Now let's ask it to generate the compliance matrix. And this could be a great way for me now to understand the compliance matrix, see if I'm missing anything that I'm not eligible for, or if it's a good fit for me, etc., etc. So SAMsearch will go through all the attachments, will go through all the documents, all the description, and make sure you get all the information right away. And this is very, very good to save you the time, because you don't want to spend hours and hours on a contract to realize that you're not a good fit. This is just one way to save time. Another way that I've seen a lot of our users do is break down the entire opportunity by tasks. So they leave the chat session having a list of tasks that they can go and just get to action. Or for example, write an email for the subcontractor to ask for a quote based off this opportunity. And now it'll go ahead and draft me the email right away from all the information that is already provided. I don't need to go through and collect all the information myself right away. And as you can see, it's fully like an email format with all the information provided right here. And this is as an example of just me reaching out to another subcontractor. Now take that example and think about all the aspects you do in your business and how can this AI tool help you. The purpose of the tool is not to make you fire your employees, for example. It's supposed to make your entire team just more efficient, faster. And instead of bidding on one contract a month, you do 3-4 a month, etc., etc. And especially if someone is just starting, it's a numbers game in the beginning. You just want to get as many data points and feedback from the contracting officers as possible to improve on your next bid. So you need something that is quick with your time and saving you the time, and quick with your actions right away. Another thing that can save you a lot of times, and how you can assess if this is a good contract or no, is by scrolling to the bottom and taking a look at this market intelligence section. You see how many awards it's been in the past, the total value, average value, etc. And then you see the set aside distribution and the business type distribution. You see here that the small disadvantage and 8A have a very big chunk. So I know if I'm a small business.
So I have to stop you for 1 second. I want to say this. There is so much value in this information right here that you can look at data and analytics and see what an agency is spending, how you can price this contract without coming out and going over the budget, see the total awards based on set-asides, business type, distribution. That is so valuable within this tool because it's often something, Humam, that so many government contractors miss. They wonder why when they're getting debriefs, they weren't on point with their price. It's because they didn't look at the data and analytics of what happened in the past and what the agency's behavior is.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
what
That is
this,
so important.
yes,
It's all about not reinventing the wheel.
right.
It's not you can't like just shoot darts at a board blindly. You have to justify your pricing. And like you mentioned, the awarded contracts, you can go on here, find previous awards, see how much they got awarded for, who got the award, understand why that company got that contract awarded. Let me see what worked for them and do it in my proposal, for example. Let me see what this. Let me see what my competition is working in their values and what they're doing, so I know where to position myself. Is this even my field to play in? Let me see what this agency or this sub agency even have been spending lately. We see here that Q4 of 2024 there was a dip, so we expect Q4 of 2025 to also have a dip, especially now with the government shutdown. We know it's not going to go anywhere. So is this even worth my time to bid on, knowing what this agency have been spending the past 5 years? So you want to make those quick decisions as fast as possible. And if, let's say, you are a very good fit for this contract, but you're missing one thing, or you want another company's help that is also registered to work with the government, you can just simply go to partnerships and you will find companies in the place of performance that are qualified or could be qualified to do this job with you. And now you can go, for example, 50-50, or you can be the prime and they can be the subcontractor, etc., etc. You can get all of their details, their NAICS codes, their past performances, their contact information, all in one place. If those kind of features don't save you time, then I don't know what else, because we want you to make your decision as fast as possible. You should be getting the information visually and correct at the same time, and that's how we try to save everyone's time, by speeding up the entire process, because it is extremely exhausting having to open hundreds of tabs to click on the agency, then from the agency see the old bids, and having to dig through them with also bad search, also bad documentation, also bad naming conventions. Whereas here you just have everything in the same place. So that is the biggest piece of this interview, is going to be saving time. That's
I
why we spend the most with this section.
I really love that this whole section, because buying your time back is so important. And I also teach my audience that building a pipeline, yeah, you're not going to hit right away, but building a pipeline, talking about goals of 3 to 5 contracts per month. Some people ask me, how are you submitting 5 contracts per month, right? I'm buying my time back by utilizing AI tools just like samsearch.com. We all want to buy our time back. And also, we all want to win a contract. So, dividing your time and understanding, can I fulfill this contract right here, right now, or do I need to move on to something else? Now, looking at a contract and reading through can take up to 1 to 3 days. With samsearch.com, it can take minutes. This tool is amazing, right? So I just want to mention that, because we talk about
Appreciate that.
goals and we also talk about pipelines. This is 2 ways for you to kill it time wise.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. The biggest testimonial that we get is, you don't understand how much time I'm saving by using SamSearch.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients win contracts all the time. It's not something we advertise or like to push on everyone, because it's such an easy sell. But we like to advertise or talk about the time we're saving you, because even if you don't win the first 10 contracts, for example, which is not it's like normal in the government contract industry to not win everything,
Right.
but at least you like, let's say you lose 10 in 5 months, is so much easier than losing 10 in a year. and still having to do the same thing next year. Like you want to get the feedback of those 10 contracts as fast as possible to not repeat the same mistakes.
I love the way you think. That was a great thought right there. I mean, it's very true,
Thank you.
right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is in everything, in businesses and sports. It's just you want to get the data points to get better, and you can only get better if you do things faster.
Yeah.
Everything that we do internally and we don't put out there is not going to count. Like you can tell me as much as you want about how great your videos are, but if you don't put them on your YouTube channel, we're not going to know that. And you're going to know the most. You're going to know if they're good or not, if they get views or not, etc., etc. That's how you build your information.
Yep. Where can people follow you on YouTube? What's the name of your channel if they want to
Yeah,
watch
so I
the
actually,
video?
yeah, we have two channels. We have one for the software itself called Sam Search, but I also have my own channel called Humam Finding Sam, because our platform name is Sam Search. So I thought
Nice. I
that's
want
nice.
people to
Yeah.
know
So
that in case you guys want to watch more tutorials or learn more about Sam Search, he does have two platforms on YouTube that you can visit. Okay, so what type of, oh, you know what? Let me touch on this one. One thing my audience struggles with is focus. So how does Sam Search help users narrow down bids so they don't waste time just chasing everything?
yeah, that is very very good question, but I like to emphasize that it's not your viewers. It's a common issue. Uh, it's not something that one or two people experience when they lose focus and get distracted. It's a common thing with an industry that have an overwhelming amount of information that is hard to filter and go through. And let's talk about the pipeline because we just mentioned it earlier. You really want to build a system for you to have everything automated. That way you don't lose uh, focus and you stay focused on the contracts you are working on. And it can get very hard with the pipeline, managing multiple deadlines, multiple tasks, multiple point of contacts, whether the contracting officers, the subcontractors, the let's say you're using another service for proposal writers, etc. So many point of contacts and so much information that it's so easy to lose track with the paperwork, etc., etc. So that is something else that Sam Search can help with. Is the pipeline is also in the same platform. Everything that you want to do is right there. It's a one-stop shop, whether it's the search, the proposal, the bid no bid decision, and now we're looking at the journey help, which what we call the pipeline for us. So we have all these contracts that are in the assessment phase, right? You can see if they're federal or SLED or even manually uploaded, and whatever that is in the assessment phase, you can bring it and drag it to the in progress, etc., to submitted one or lost no bid. But what's so great about this is that you have everything in the same place. Now you're not getting distracted with the chaos that you have on your laptop or your computer with all these folders and attachments. You have a calendar with all the deadlines of the contracts that are coming up, so you always know what's your next action is going to be towards which contract, and you have your calendar that is for all the deadlines with the contracts that you have in your pipeline. But let's click on this contract just for the sake of the example. You can get the deep insights, which they are strong points in your company that could make you a good fit to this contract. So these are kind of like the thesis statement on why you should get this contract awarded. And this is a great way to link your capabilities with the contract so you don't forget about it. You can add all the contacts, all the point of contacts that are related to this contract. So let's add the subcontractor. Just the role is going to be the project manager. It's the example phone number. And now you have the point of contact. You can create tasks for yourself or for the team. Also in the same way where you have the board and the calendar. So you have all your tasks for this contract also in the same place. You have access to the chat once again here, but you also have all the documents in the same place that you can get access to from any computer you log in on. You don't have to use like your device or your folders to access these documents. So these are the attachments that came with the contract. But let's say you got a quote from a subcontractor, you can bring it, upload it here. Let's say you got an amendment or an email, you can bring it and upload it here. So you have everything in the same place. And lastly, you can draft the proposal from the Journey Hub as well. So staying focused includes two things: is the discipline, which is something we can't help with, but the other part that we can assist with is building the system that you can automate and you can have as your day-to-day. Like, you can log in every morning, go on your Journey Hub, see which contracts that are in progress, what you have to do, all the tasks that you have to go through, put them in done, and then you bring this, you submit it, and then now you go back to the assessment phase, you see which contracts you want to make a decision on, you bring it, take it, and just having everything in the same place makes you so much more focused, because it's a system issue. If you like something, if you are enjoying working on something and you're not getting frustrated by it, odds are you're not going to lose focus on it.
That's very true.
Like, I remember in school, I'm only losing focus on the subjects that I don't like.
Right.
Like, I remember biology, I could not focus for my life as much as I wanted to. It was my lowest grade every year, but I just couldn't focus. I would tell my parents, like, I'm not, like, understanding everything. And it wasn't hard in comparison to other courses that I was interested in.
Yes.
So it's all about how you can not get frustrated with a frustrated system. Like, it's a system that is supposed to be frustrating. You have like hundreds of websites for the government, etc., etc. So it's not anyone's fault, it's the system's fault. So you want to build a system that fights that to make you more organized. So whether you're using SAMsearch or not, I encourage everyone that is struggling with focus to just build a system that they are comfortable with.
I love that. And the organization that SAMsearch brings as well. When you're building your pipeline, sometimes we go through debriefs, and I teach this a lot because looking at things that debrief wise, where you're making mistakes, even that can get away from you over time because your pipeline is just moving. You're not paying attention. You're not updating yourself on what's being awarded or what's being canceled or closed. This can help you track your debriefs as well because you're more organized. You're in progress. You're submitted. You're won. All of these tabs that are open help you not only to build a system, but to stay organized and go back and say, hey, why did I lose this? Right? How can I get better in the future? So that's something that's helpful as well. And so simplify, organization. CRM comes to mind too, like a government contracting CRM. Like, is the vibe that I'm getting that I really enjoy because CRMs bring a lot of organization and they're helpful. So powerhouse in so many different ways. So what type of contracts or industries are seeing the best results when they're using SAMsearch so far?
So we have all kind of clients subscribe to us. They range from waste management, IT, cybersecurity. We have someone doing augmented reality, movie writers and scripters to the government. So across the board, the ones we work with the most, however, there are services. Whether it's services for construction, landscaping, what else? Waste management. Let me remember. IT services. A lot of IT services. They benefit so much from it. Everyone benefits from everything because it has all the contracts you can think about. So it's kind of like a plug and play. Use it in your own way. But the ones that we have been talking to the most are whether the capture consultants or their services, or they sell products to the DIPS, the DLA. So those categories have been very communicative with us, that they have been very successful with bidding, and they use SAMsearch. But at the end of the day, it's I just want to put it out there that if someone is getting a contract awarded, it is their credit. They are the ones to take the credits for. SAMsearch is just a tool to help you bid faster. So if you are eligible, if you have a good business and you're using SAMsearch, it's just a way for you to just win more and more. If you have if your business is not running good and you have all kind of issues with your business, and if even if you're using the best tool ever, you're still not going to get that contract awarded. So I just want to put it out there, we're not claiming any of the wins our clients got, but we just help them get them faster and easier,
You're
and
just, yeah,
spend less money on resources to get those contracts awarded.
right.
That is the biggest thing for us, is less resources, more time, more money.
Yep, using your toolbox. This is a tool. So thank you for being, honest and transparent about that. I
Of
really like
course.
that because using your toolbox plays a big role in how you operate. So, can you share a quick success story, for example, of someone who used Sam Search and actually landed a contract or it improved their strategy?
On our landing page, we have a wall of love right here. And it's basically where we like to put out our testimonials and success stories. So you can go read some of the case studies, for example, or videos that I've done with some of our clients and how they sped up their process, what's their workflow like. So we have a couple of these, and we have a couple of testimonials from our clients right here. But the story that I like to share the most is that there was this person that had been laid off from their job, and they were, I'm not sure if I'm going to mention their name, but they were laid off from their job and they got into government contracting. A year later, they subscribed to SAMsearch in end of 2024. In April, they got their first contract awarded, and 2 months later, they also got a contract awarded, and it was waste management. One was in Florida, one was in Alaska, and they went to Alaska and saw how the contract was being operated, and they sent me pictures, and that is the best story I can give. And the only reason why I like to give it is because that is someone that was kind of forced to get into government contracting as their last resource because they were unemployed. They found how hard it was, and they spent a year from their saved money on resources and learning without any results. Uh, that learning all paid off when they put it into action using SAMsearch, which is just a tool to bid more, reaching out to the contracts, and they were also using the SP specialist feature. It's right here. Let me just click on it. And the SP specialist feature, it gives you access to small business specialists that work for the government, and their job is to help small businesses bid and work with the government. So they would, let's say they would work on a contract with the Department of Health. They would go on here, look for the Department of Health, click on which agency the contract is with, and then they would either call them or send them an email to people that work for the government and get their help, their advice, their access. If they don't know the answer, they would direct them to the right person. So again, this was the tool. They were the ones making the phone calls, writing these emails, but they had access to this contact list that allowed them to get in touch with the government a lot faster. And yeah, they're building their past performances as we go, and
Yeah.
it's a really good, successful
One
story.
thing that I really like about you is that, one, you're extremely creative, but two is you are still involved in government contracting. You're still in that specific lane from a different aerial view, right? You understood, like, okay, we placed ourselves as bidders. We see the confusion, we see the madhouse, we see what's going on, but we're going to take a different lane and we're just going to hit it full throttle. And I think because you were positioned that way, from being a bidder and now helping bidders and government contractors, that is genius, right? Because it's so creative to still play a role as a software engineer and then
I
come out
appreciate
here
that. Yeah.
with this tool and just really make an impact. So I really love that about you and this tool, that you were able to see yourself in government contracting from a completely different angle, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
really like that.
Even I appreciate that. So the way we operate, and one of our values is we don't develop features, we develop solutions. So it's not something that we think is so cool and we think this is going to be groundbreaking in the AI industry that
Yeah.
we're going to make it. No, we see there is this issue that it needs a solution. Whether it's AI, not AI, like no one cares what are you using to solve that solution. We just want to
Yep.
that problem. We just want to create these solutions. So the way we do it is we get in touch with our clients on frequently basis. We call them, we check up on everyone, we get their feedback all the time because they're also using it every single day or like sometimes all day long, and we want to know what they're facing the problem with. Sometimes they tell us what they're experiencing and they don't see the issue, but we're like, wait, this is just, it looks like you're doing this multiple times, let's fix it for you. So that's how we come up with our solutions, and we stay very involved in the government contracting world. Last week, actually, I was in Boston with the procurement office of Boston, asking them why, like procurement on the government side, why it's very complicated, and they were telling me their challenges as
Yeah.
well, and trying to see how we can benefit SAMSearch users with more technology that can help them overcome even the government obstacles, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
definitely does. So samsearch.com has a bright future. I would like to say
I appreciate
that.
that.
So this is my last question, and this one's really impactful. If someone watching wants to get started right now, what's the best way to sign up? And do you have any special features or trial or bonuses for new users?
Yeah, for sure. So we don't have a free trial, but the good news that I have is if you use the link in the description of Deborah's video, everyone that subscribes through that link gets 25% off. So if you are a new user to SAMSearch, use the link in the description of this video. I'm sure Deborah will figure that one part out and she will put the link. But yeah, it will be 25% off. And if you want to learn more about SAMSearch, you can just go on samsearch.ai or samsearch.co, and you'll see all of our testimonials, features, the companies we work with. You can even play around with it here a little bit yourself. See everything demonstrated. Go to the solutions part, read about every specific feature on its own. We only showed a small brief today in this video, but there's a lot more to it that can save you more time and help you bid faster and win with more procurement contracts.
Thank you so much for your time and putting a tutorial together to really show what samsearch.com can do for the average government contracting bidder. It simplifies, it organizes, and it really can just help your pipeline move along for your next government contract win. Thank you for coming to the channel. And
Of course. Thank you for
yes,
having me over, Deborah.
absolutely. If you are new here, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you know anyone who is in the government contracting space who is struggling to find contracts, buy back their time, share this video with them. And whatever you are thinking that is good, think bigger. Bye for now.